Hello everyone and welcome back to AustinPlus, where today we are talking about a specific film that I did not enjoy, unfortunately. Today we are talking about the Barbie movie, and when Barbie was announced, many people were expected it to be nothing more than a colourful toy advertisement. Instead, it just became one of the biggest films of 2023 for some unknown reason, earning over $1 billion, receiving critical acclaim, and sparking discussions about feminism, identity, and modern society. Not what people were expecting from this kind of film. But while millions praised this film, others argued that it was overrated and relied too heavily on its message. So, today we are answering the question, was the Barbie movie actually that good? Now, I did a review a couple years ago. I did not enjoy this. I really tried. I just didn't. But today we are going to go over why, personally, I didn't think it was that good, but also other people's opinions as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. I think the one thing that people didn't expect about this was it is more than just a toy film. On the surface, Barbie appears to be a light-hearted comedy filled with colourful sets, catchy music, and playful humour. I think the music is the only thing that really invested me. However, beneath its bright presentation lies a story about identity, purpose, expectations, and self-discovery. And rather than simply adapting the toy line, the film attempts to explore what Barbie represents to different generations, which does give audiences a far more traditional family comedy. Another thing, the performances. The performances weren't actually half bad from this film. I can say that with a lot of confidence, because one of the film's greatest strengths is its cast. Margot Robbie perfectly balances Barbie's innocence, optimism, and growing emotional complexity, while Ryan Gosling delivers a very hilarious yet surprisingly layered performance as Ken. Now, their chemistry derives much of the film's humor, but it also helps deliver some of the most emotional moments. Supporting performances do further expand Barbie Land as well, making the world feel very lively and memorable throughout the whole story. We've got a lot of actors in here, but each of them play their role very, very well. Simu Liu, I think it is, played a version of Ken, and then John Cena. You obviously Dua Lipa in there. You had a lot of cameos, but you also had some characters. Will Ferrell as well. The themes and messages, I think, is where a lot of people got really confused with this movie, me included. I thought it was going to be the typical Barbie story that we were getting in live action in Barbie Land, but it was literally the complete opposite. Now, the message I am all for. It just didn't reflect well in this Barbie movie, unfortunately. The Barbie movie tackles several major themes, including gender expectations, self-worth, masculinity, femininity, and the pressure of living up to impossible standards. Now, rather than representing simple answers, the film encourages viewers to question how society shapes its identity. While many audiences appreciated these conversations, others felt the messages were occasionally become too direct, and prioritizing speeches over subtle storytelling. Now, in saying that, there was no even meter, because I don't like the story and the message that this film was trying to project. Fair enough, I approve of that, but it was not said that. It did not say that in the premise. The premise just really lost me. It was too direct, and then at times it was in your face direct, but then it was also, oh, you have to find dig so deep to actually find the gold. You have to, and not many people are willing to actually put in the effort. And when someone tries to explain that, they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't get that." Oh, they won't feel as interested. And I think that's where this movie really does fall short. The humor and style is also, it's weird. It's definitely, I don't know if humor and style is its best quality. It was definitely the most distinct in this film. I think it's one of the most distinctive films in recent years, I will say. But its practical sets, colourful production design, costumes, and exaggerated world building do create an atmosphere that feels both nostalgic and original. Combined with self-aware humour and numerous references to Barbie's history, the film maintains an entertaining tone even while discussing the more serious subjects. This balance between comedy and emotion becomes one of the most defining characteristics for this film. I think that's what it's the defining characteristics, but it's actually trying to identify when they actually come in. And like, this is where a lot of films struggle with comedic timing. They're very important with these type of films. And this leads me on to the next point I'm trying to make, which is why it divided audiences so much. Because I know I said I don't really enjoy this film. It's mainly because I know for a fact it could have been done so much better if there was structure. The film got lost in its own plot and its own meaning. Despite its success, Barbie was never universally loved. It was one of the most controversial of the year. Some viewers praised it as one of the smartest blockbuster films in years, while others believed its social commentary overshadowed the story itself. Now that's where I think the big controversy, and that's how it got so much money. It sparked a conversation, encouraging more people to go and watch it. And because the film explores topics that naturally invite discussion, audiences often left very different interpretations depending on their own experiences and expectations. Now, this divide is so crucial for how this movie played out. And I said this in one of my old form videos. This movie did better than Oppenheimer, and I was so annoyed about that because I was like, I know it's not a good film. But I was like, it's because it sparked that conversation. And that, I think, is where they got that marketing to a T. However, I still think the good film characteristics should have been there. This divide did become one of the reasons the film obviously remained part of the public conversation long after its release. I mean, I'm talking about it 3 years down the line. Now, key question, and I want to say this with the utmost validity. Does the story hold up? Beyond its themes, the film does tell a surprisingly emotional journey centered around Barbie discovering who she truly wants to become. Now, that can be interpreted in a number of ways, all of which I can understand and support. While certain plot points are intentionally exaggerated for the film's, basically sarcastic tone, it doesn't hit the comedic note, and it just seems bland. The emotional core does remain, focused on the finding, purpose beyond perfection, and for many viewers, this personal journey gives you, the story lasting emotional weight to some characters, but not all. Even if some of its pacing and narrative choices aren't universally praised, you have to understand that the story was there. The story does hold up. The execution just wasn't. Now, I make this quite clear in a lot of videos. There's a difference between an idea and an execution. The idea can be glorious, fantastic, but it might not be a good execution. Now, my final question for today's class, folks, is does it deserve the hype that it got? See, that's a very difficult question, because on the one hand, in terms of quality, no. In terms of the message, yes. But if we're talking about pure entertainment, no. I think whether Barbie deserves its enormous reputation ultimately depends on obviously what audiences expected and what they came out of the theater thinking. Those looking forward to traditional comedy may find themselves surprised by its deeper themes, while viewers interested in character-driven storytelling and social commentary may appreciate its ambition. Regardless of personal opinion, few can deny that the film achieved something rare. It became a blockbuster that encouraged genuine discussion long after the audiences left the cinema. I think that's the part I want to hone in on. As much as I did not enjoy this film, it sparked a very genuine discussion, and I think that's props to Barbie for doing that. The Barbie movie isn't simply successful because it's based on the world's famous toys. It's successful because it combines humor, striking visuals, memorable performances, and meaningful themes in something that actually feels surprisingly unique. It is very unique, I can give it that. It may not resonate with everyone in the same way, but its cultural impact is undeniable. The real question isn't whether Barbie is the perfect film, it's whether it actually accomplished exactly what it was trying to do. And judging by the conversations that it's still creating to this day, I would say the answer is probably yes. But without further ado, folks, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment what you would like to see on the channel. But I hope you have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.